Good morning, Donut DOC. Welcome to St. Louis, and we are in the area called the Grove, and we're actually just outside, as you can see, Vincent Van Doughnut. And I've got my friend Wendy Versosa here with me.
Good morning.
Good morning, and we're getting ready to go in.
Good morning. How are you all?
Fantastic.
Have you ever been in before?
We have not.
Welcome. We
Thank
make
you.
everything from scratch, hand cut, hand decorate. We don't use mixes. We're the only donut shop in town that does everything by hand. Square donuts are our yeast raised donuts. Circular donuts, sour cream based old-fashioned cakes, much more dense. The filled donut today is the Bavarian cream. It's a French custard, vanilla custard. And we also have savory items for breakfast if that is of interest to you.
So that you said today, does that mean that the fillings change?
The fillings change every day.
Oh my gosh.
And we have about 18 to 19 flavors during the week. Some of them stay because they're best sellers. And on the weekends, we can go up to 22, just depending. He'll make specialty donuts on the weekend. Our top seller is lemon lavender, French toast, maple bacon, blueberry cake. So are we dining in today or taking away?
We are dining in, and actually, before we go any further, would you like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Katie Perez.
And I'm Mona Marsden.
Hello, Katie and Mona. Thank you so much for the warm hospitality. And what do you recommend?
My favorite donut is the lemon lavender.
Okay.
Mona's is the vanilla cake. It's a plain, simple, great dunking donut. The lemon lavender, though, is the perfect blend. It's not overly sweet. It has a citrus overlay on it, so that's really good.
All right.
We also, with the French toast, I've taken that home before and sliced it in half, dumped in an egg, and made it into French toast. And it's delicious because the nuts caramelize, and then you pour maple syrup over it. It's so good.
You had me at that warm caramelized. So I literally got goosebumps.
All right. Well, we've got a tough decision ahead of us that we've got to make.
My goodness.
Well, I am having trouble deciding because when it comes to sweets, I love almost everything. I don't usually like bacon on a donut, so that might be the only one
Well,
I'm not leaning towards.
I'll interrupt.
Okay.
I'll tell you that is the bun for Shaquille O'Neal's hot chicken sandwich at the ballpark this season.
Oh my gosh.
He approached Vincent last year and made a deal, and we're doing it again this year.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it went over perfectly.
We might have to try that one now.
So I want to know, what is that phone call from Shaquille O'Neal?
I think it was like somebody in his group.
Okay.
But he specified that, I guess he read about it or something. We're not really sure.
You need to invite him to come in.
Well, that's what I said. He had that knee operation last year, or the whatever operation he had, and I said, Vincent, you need to send him some donuts.
Some recovery donuts.
Yes.
So did Vincent say, well, Shaq, let me think about it. My people, all your people.
I think that's what was said.
Okay. I would have been tripping over myself.
Right.
Oh yeah, his first thing was, I laid awake in bed thinking, how can I do this? Because we do everything from scratch. We're trying to figure out how we could do an assembly line. So,
Wow.
but he figured it out and we did it.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
You don't tell Shaq no.
No, I don't think so. He's too big. In more ways than one.
Right. Indeed.
Again, good morning, Donut DOC community. So I am here, as we discussed earlier, with my friend Wendy Berzosa.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we are again at Vincent Van Doughnut in the heart of the Grove in downtown St. Louis, Missouri. Now, what we've got here in front of us is nothing short of amazing. But, you know, I like to make sure that we have a theme for each episode. And today's theme is going to be about mood and how mood factors into the decisions that we make when we choose our donuts. And but who better to talk to about mood? Not saying she's moody, sorry.
Oh, rude, rude.
Thank you. But Wendy, who is a clinical social worker and has been so for 25 years. So if there's somebody who knows about the influence of mood in our lives, it's Wendy. So Wendy, tell us a little bit about the mood that you were in and how that influenced your donut decisions this morning.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for having me. It's such a great experience being here in St. Louis with you and being a part of this donut experience. I consider it an experience. And I really do mind, body, soul. There's so many ways to comfort ourselves.
Yes.
So today I picked these two donuts because I'm in a combination mood. I'm validating both moods I have right now, the need to celebrate, and I believe it's a Saturday Night Live or a progressive commercial quote, sprinkles are for winners. And I recently got a promotion and a lot of good things going on that I want to celebrate. So sprinkles are for winners. So I chose the sprinkle donut for that
Beautiful.
part of my mood. And also lots of just tough stuff going on and stress. And I find comfort in certain smells and tastes.
Yes.
And this is a lemon lavender donut. And just lavender is so comforting for me, both scent-wise and color is purple, which is one of my favorite colors. And so I chose the lemon lavender for kind of that comfort hug.
Yeah.
And then the sprinkles to celebrate all the good stuff that's going on. So those are my moods that I chose these donuts
Okay,
by.
so what did I choose today? Well, obviously we all know I have my experience with donuts, and I do tend to get in the habit of picking out the same type of donut over and over again because I kind of have my go-tos. And as much as I wanted to try that maple bacon, 'cause I mean, if it's good enough for Shaq,
Right?
then it's maybe okay for me. Okay, no kidding, not trying to get Shaq mad at me. It's good enough for Shaq, it's good enough for me. But here's what I went with today. I went with a apple cheesecake donut. That's right. I said apple and I said cheesecake. And then this one. I mean, as soon as I walked in and I saw that this was an option, I knew what I had to do. This is a chocolate chip cookie donut that has also been warmed so that the cookie dough is basically melting into the donut. Now, I will tell you, the good staff here wanted to make sure that we are safe in what we eat, and they told me, good news is, Steve, it's edible cookie dough, of which I responded, all cookie dough is edible. I don't care. That's my approach in life.
The mom in me was very happy. There's no
the
raw
mom
egg.
was very happy. Fine, whatever. I don't care. All right, so we are going to get ready to dig in. And Wendy, any thoughts before we dig in?
Yeah, when you were talking before, I didn't want to interrupt you, but you were describing the cookie dough donut, and
Yeah.
I literally felt myself take like a deep breath, and I just felt like comfort. So I'm the smell and memories, and just thinking about the home baked cookie at home changes my mood. It truly
Yes.
brought me comfort. I'm curious, what is a home baked cookie or the cookie dough? What mood does that make you feel?
Okay, so it automatically makes me happy. So even just walking in and seeing it in the display case made me happy. It made me think about, crispy edges, that soft, gooey center, and the fact that she warmed it even better. And the thing is, and I know it's difficult to see from where you're at there, but there are cookie crumbles on top of the cake with then that, and again, I'm holding the plate at the bottom here. I can feel the heat coming off the bottom of the plate. Feel that heat underneath.
I mean, that's just warming physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Because there are certain scents and smells that we have as memories that bring us comfort.
Absolutely. And, they also say that as far as, and you can tell me the official term, it's just not coming to me right now, but when you have those aromas, when you have those smells, it triggers certain memories. Take a smell of that, because I can already smell that cookie dough as well.
It's we use our eyes, our nose, our head, memories, our body to experience everything. And it's usually associated with a mood or a memory, present, past, or even for the future of what I want to do. Oh, this makes me want to go home and bake cookies. Or it reminds me of a family memory back in the day, baking cookies with the kids. So it's past, present, and future.
And may I add, just a thought as you were saying it, as far as future, I kind of had the thought that, maybe someday, not anytime soon, but when I become a grandfather, this is the kind of place I want to bring my grandkids to experience. When Grandpa took us to get a cookie like that or a cookie donut.
That's exactly what I mean. Past, present, and future in your experience with your mood and your taste.
Absolutely. And we also, for those of you maybe who have seen it in the past, but maybe for those of you who are just new to Donut DOC and haven't seen it, we do have episode 3 that focus on the senses and how utilizing the senses enhances your complete donut experience. Okay, so we are now ready to try our donuts. Now, Wendy asked me a very good question off camera, and it was, in what order do we try? And so we compared notes, and we're actually in agreement. So, Wendy, would you like to walk us through what your thoughts are as far as what we should try first?
Absolutely. So again, feelings are my thing. So when I first looked at these 4 donuts, I felt a little overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, like a kid in a candy store, donut shop.
Or Steve in a donut store.
Right?
Yeah, or Steve in a donut store.
Yeah. Where do I start? And my brain kind of organized it from lightest to heaviest and how it looks to me or how the flavors sound to me. So I was thinking we start with the lavender. Then we move to the apple cheesecake as a fruit. I'm guessing it's lighter. And then the cookie dough. And then the sprinkles, because it is actually the one that is the solid cake donut, and it's chocolate. So I kind of feel like we have to end with the celebration and with chocolate. And then Steve said he agrees. So we're on the same plate.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with that logic. So, okay, we are both going to dive into that lemon lavender first. So grab whichever one you want, and I'll grab the one I want, and here we go. Okay. Are you ready to describe what you're getting, or are you still experiencing?
There was such like my eyes are popping open. Again, I experienced things with all my senses. My eyes literally popped open when it touched the roof of my mouth. Like when I first started chewing, I was like, this is savory. Like it's just so flavorful.
Okay.
But then the lemon and lavender touched the top of my mouth, and it really brightened me. Like that's the word I could think of. I just felt bright.
Yes.
It's not heavy at all. It's light. It's bright. And I can still taste it. Like it's just lingering in my mouth. It's really good.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll also say zesty. We think of citrus, and a lot of times if you are a baker, like Wendy is, not me. Jules will tell you, not me. But she's had me cut up enough zest before, or put zest into different baking items. That zest came through. The sides of my tongue just like lit up. Like, hello, Steve. Welcome to the morning. Mm-hmm. And then the lavender, again, very calming. So you almost have contrast there. You've got the bang of the lemon and the citrus, and almost the, hey, it's okay with the lavender.
That's when you said, wake up, Steve, I kind of got the message of it's like, wake up, but everything's going to be okay.
Exactly right. And I will tell you, being on a yeast donut, that's very different than what I've had previously. Being on a cake donut, that lightness of the yeast also really enhances that. That is a dang fine donut. And dare I say, since we are supposed to be discovering outstanding choices, I think we just found one. You're going for a second bite, aren't you?
Well, and I was going to say, it looks like it would be dense by looking at the inside, but it's not. It's light and fluffy.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to save another bite because we have a lot more donut to eat.
We do. All right, so now we are going to move on to the apple cheesecake.
It's one of my favorite things to bake is cheesecake. It's one of the things I like to create flavor. So I'm very excited to taste what a cheesecake donut tastes like.
All right. I would recommend right there in the middle. As she's picking that out, I will say that not only do you have this on a yeast base, with also the apple, and you can, that is a big bite, but with the apple and the cinnamon on the top, and you can clearly see the specks of cinnamon in there. You've got the crumble as well, the typical cheesecake crumble, or graham cracker crumble, I should say. But there is actually real cheesecake in here. Boy, this is a big bite too. I got to watch how I cut these things. All right, we're just going to dive on in. Here we go.
Oh my God. I don't know how they make something with so much stuff taste so light.
So,
but the fresh apple, like you could taste that fresh apple crunch.
Yeah.
And the cheese creaminess, and then the like I'm a texture girl too. I like the mixture of the textures.
Right.
And it's a little bit of everything, and this is really good.
That is freaking phenomenal.
I'm ready. This is the
chocolate chip cookie.
So we have to go to the middle where the cookie dough is.
Of course.
Okay,
and that's where it's warm.
That is your favorite, so you pick the first piece.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, okay, so in this bite right now, it's basically equidistant, yeah, I know, equidistant yeast donut and equidistant chocolate chip cookie dough. Here we go. That's a mouthful.
I was like, you talk first.
Exactly. Still processing. Okay. I'm going to say,
this one I need a little sip of coffee.
You know what? That's a good point. Cheers. Okay. Here's the thing about this donut. It's like eating cookie dough out of a tube.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it's like. So you don't pick up so much on the yeast donut, or at least for me. Now, from the center, certainly on the outside, plenty of yeast donut with the cookie crumble. So probably a very different experience eating on the outside. However, who are we kidding? I'm going in for that cookie dough. But this right here, that is a guilty pleasure. As far as you know, it's going to be our last donut.
For now, on camera.
Yeah, I make no promises. Okay, so now we've got
sprinkles.
The sprinkles. And sprinkles make people happy, right? We talked about happy sugar.
Can you see them? My coffee might be in the way.
We talked about happy sugar in previous episodes. Yeah, sprinkles just make people happy. And that is your pick, so you pick the one you want.
Okay, yep, I'm going to pick... I cut the pieces really big.
Yeah, you did. But hey, so did I.
Go for that one. It broke in half.
Good. And I'm going to go with this one. Ooh, even just putting the fork in, you can tell with that cake. That's dense.
That's dense cake.
Yep, that is dense cake. Okay, here we go. Okay. Any thoughts?
As expected, it's sweet. Very sweet. The icing has a lovely, I feel like it's a little kid strawberry flavor.
Yes. Very good.
Like, but sprinkles make me think of being a little kid and just joyous happiness. We usually put whenever, birthday cakes and celebrations of good things, so sprinkles. So there's a ton of joy on top of what I feel like is the hard work to get the sprinkles.
Yes.
Is that chocolate cake, that you work hard for something and then you celebrate. So I feel like that dense chocolate cake is the hard work, and the sprinkles on top is the celebration.
Completely agree. And the other thing I will say is, you would think maybe with it being a chocolate cake that the chocolate would be overpowering and you wouldn't be able to taste the strawberry icing. But no, you actually can. Okay, Donut DOCers, thank you so much for joining us today. I got to tell you, if you get the opportunity and you are anywhere near St. Louis, dare I say, Eastern Missouri. Heck, if you're in a state that's tangent to Missouri, you need to go out of your way. You need to come to Vincent Van Doughnut and see Mona and Katie and everyone else here, because they do an absolutely phenomenal job. Now, before we wrap everything up, let me also please ask, if you like what we're doing here, please like this episode, subscribe to the channel, make a comment on the channel, and most importantly, share with a friend, because we want to make life better. Invite a friend and go grab a donut. Let's expand that Donut DOC community. But with our final thoughts for today, I'm going to turn it over to Wendy. So Wendy, help us bring all this together and summarize how mood and these donuts all are intertwined.
Yeah, like you just said, sharing donut with a friend. I feel like each of these donuts for me have a place in my life, like for different reasons, different occasions, and in no particular order. I just kind of feel like this warm cookie dough donut is like, instead of getting a pint of ice cream and a spoon on a disappointing maybe breakup or something horrible going on in like coping. This is the coping donut.
It is the coping
the
donut.
Cookie dough coping donut.
100%. In fact, we're going to tell them to rename it.
It's the coping donut.
It's
for
the coping
sure.
donut.
And again, like I said earlier, I feel like this is just sprinkles, hard work, celebration, pat on the back. Donuts. The lemon lavender is definitely the look at the bright side and have a great day and share something with a friend. Just kind of, this is going to be our donut. This kind of reminds me of our time, just light and meaningful as well. And then the cheesecake to me is just kind of a all-American, everyday, just going on with life and making the choices that we need to make, take care of ourselves, take care of others. It just kind of wraps that all together in one donut.
I think that's very well said. So again, thank you for joining us. Wendy, thank you for being a part of the Donut DOC community. And thank, most importantly, the people, our good friends at Vincent Van Doughnut. This has been an absolutely outstanding experience. Absolutely outstanding choices here at Vincent Van Doughnut.